One shot. Let's begin. Nyan-Nyan Oratorio by Yokayari Menko. Um, Included in Volume 3 of Kozo no Hankai. Uploaded by Kaboto-chan, Daisuke Scan, and Manga Dex. Alright, let's begin. This is a melancholic one-shot that's romantic, tragic, and involves cat astronauts. American cat astronauts? What? Even the animals that go to the moon are American. We're gonna ignore the fact that Russia made it before us in some respects, but we're just gonna stick to the moon rather than space. Anyways, let's begin. Oh, cat.
Whoa, it's pretty. Yeah.
It's really beautiful, Niamo.
There's only XX and Diamo on this planet.
Yeah, that's why. That's why we can be together. Forever, forever, forever.
Awake. I wake up at night and sleep at night. It's always the night here. Namo is alone. Everybody disappeared. But I'm not lonely because I'm not alone. I had a dream today. Yeah.
What kind of dream?
We two were watching meteor shower.
Two? With who and who?
Of course, it's obvious. Nyamo and...
Niamo and?
Nyamo and...
Niamo, morning. You were having a nightmare. What kind of bad dream were you having?
I dreamt I was being left alone.
A dream? Where you were left alone?
Yeah.
It's strange, because Niamo, you were alone from the very beginning.
This was already long ago. Everybody on this planet died because of a big war. And you as well. I was sad. To the point I could have become crazy. That's why I thought I could live on by carving your image into this eye of mine.
Aww.
I believed I could live on like this. But that too, before it even notices it, my endless recollection of my own memory was fading. More and more. Me, who ended up
to lose her obsessional deeper delusion.
I'm really alone now. Why? Why did you leave me alone? Yeah. I hate it. Yeah. I hate being alone. Yeah. It's lonely. Yeah. You couldn't.
Niamo, thank you for remembering me at the end.
You could.
Thank you for recalling me a lot so far. Thank you.
You could. No. I don't want to let you go anymore.
But you have to forget me.
I don't want.
Why?
By all means, because
Living means forgetting.
the wind is hot, the sun is shining. The morning is so long, and I'm alone. I'm still alone yet. That's why I'm dreaming. That day we meet again.
Right. Nice. So, when I start these videos, I usually say something like, well, not always, but I'll mention like this is my first time reading this, live reaction, live this, that, and the other, right? For this one, this is actually a re-recording of this one, because, I did my recording before, and I didn't think I did this justice, because the first time I did this really was like a blind, thing, just because I was like, that's how I do things, right? But the problem is that I was trying to do a cat girl.
Well, it was like, yeah, whoa, it's pretty. Yeah.
And then like,
Forever awake. I wake up at night and I sleep at night.
like I don't know why when I talk like this, it feels like a cat, right? Just a little bit more and more like a cat, right? And that just didn't work when it became a lot more serious. Cause I was like romance, tragedy. I didn't quite look at those tags too closely, and I'm like, okay, cat person, astronaut meets a guy, and love, have tragedy, right? And I think the part that really got me with a couple of things is that I feel like this part in particular is something that I did really, really bad the first time. Where it's like, what? Like,
Why? Why did you leave me alone? Yeah. I hate it. Yeah.
like that sounded more like I was trying to almost be like a parody to an extent, or like making fun of the cat girls. And one of the things that I try to do is I try to be very sincere whenever I'm voice acting this, right? I try to interpret like the original meaning, the intention as well as I can on most like first things, and I don't ever try to treat it as let's make fun of this person. If there's a sense of comedy, I try to do that. And when I was reading,
I hate being alone. Yeah. It's lonely. Yeah. You could.
I feel like there was not a sense of sincerity to that. It almost felt like I was making fun of it. And this is a much more dramatic type of thing. So I was like, hey, I gotta try to re-record this to make it more sincere. Like I can only do so much with my voice, and I'm slowly expanding just a little here or there. Um, like I can only do so much with it, but I still, regardless, want to give my best foot forward for this. Which is why you'll often hear me actually like cracking my voice a lot of the time, not just cracking from maybe like high pitches, but like emotionally, where I accidentally go back into my more natural voice because it's like, okay, now I'm starting to feel the emotion, starting to feel this, that, or the other, right? Um, but yeah, and also I think there was like a bunch of things that I missed on the first time around here. Like the eye patch, I think is a cool design, and I also think it's very, very tragic that like she did like end up literally just drawing him right here. Like, I think this was a big thing. Like the fact that she just drew him there on the inside of her eye patch, so whenever she opened it, like I don't think that's quite how it works, but still, I could get it that she wants to kind of see him by her side. Um, and I think that's a really tragic thing to do. And that's why when you see her at the end, she goes and she gets rid of the eye patch. She goes forward and into her life, right? And then this beautiful, beautiful injury here. So I don't think I did a justice to the actual story as well. Where like I feel like this has a lot of deep stuff, but it is still well deep and experimental stuff, and it is very much a one shot though. I will say that. So one thing is I think this mainly uses black pages. I could be wrong about this, but I think it would just make more logistical sense. This was just a black page with like drawing with white ink on it, right? And I think as a result, this character seems a little bit more faded, but not in a bad way, because like we're kind of in this ephemeral, ethereal, like world, almost spiritual, like where it's like, oh, okay, since they're in space and everything, it looks a little different here. And then because of that, it might also just be a scan issue. Like these don't look like the highest quality scans. Maybe the machine indirectly did stuff, but it just makes sense that it's mainly like black pages. And then you see, like it's dark, dark, but then near the end where she becomes hopeful, they start using white pages, right? So boom, boom. So that's a complete contrast to the beginning of this, which I think is really, really good. The art is also nice. I like the guy's design in particular. He just seems like he's a wholesome guy. And I appreciate that, right? You don't ever need to see too much of them. It's pretty much from the side up. And I wonder too. No, I mean it's only from the side up. They don't ever draw too like below, and you don't need to, right? Except right here, which I hope she's wearing something. But she's a cat girl. She probably has fur on her legs. Wait, do cat girls have fur on their legs? I don't know. Anyways, whoa, it's pretty, yeah. Also, America conquering the moon again, except it's our cats this time, or maybe it's a post-apocalyptic cat future. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Um, and where I think you could also kind of tell, and I don't think this is a bad thing, because one thing is that this is actually, aside from like a few like English, like a little bit unnatural English sounding phrases, which sometimes come through a translation, right? Um, I think it's a very easy to read, and part of it, what I appreciate this versus a lot of other one shot is it sticks to the basic panel structure and design. It doesn't ever go too in depth or too forward. Like you look, it uses like what 3 or 4 designs. Okay, you have this big boom, square, 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 easy to follow, square, easy to follow, position, great, 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 great. And in this case, it doesn't really matter who says it, right? Easy to follow, boom, straight down, easy to follow, straight down, easy to follow. Very clear boxes, right? Very easy to follow, easy to follow, easy to follow, right? It's using this very basic structure. Cover page, full page, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you know, boom, see, up, down. It gets a little creative here with the cross paneling, but it's a very structured, very easy to read thing, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. I think it's great. Great. I think it's great because one thing I see with a lot of these one shots sometimes is that like they have so much extra dialogue and like so many things going on at once. It's like, whoa, you're there's too much. Bring it back a little bit. It's hard to see who's speaking. Wait, what's going on here? Um, I think that the dialogue could be fixed, or maybe not fixed, but removed at certain points. Um, I honestly think you could do a lot of this stuff here too. Like, I think, okay, boom here, forever, forever awake. I think this could be, you kind of need dialogue for this one here, or whatever, or thoughts, but if it was just dark and dark, I actually wouldn't mind that too. But you could also do this without dialogue at all. Like, she's just looking, and it's just black. Or maybe you just put her in all black, you know, like, or even the clouds. And then here, boom, 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 they have their memories and stuff. It's Aves Nyamo and I kind of like this. This one in particular is like, oh, you don't remember me. I had a dream today. We were watching the meteor shower. This is good too, right? Like a lot of showing and not telling, which I like. Wakes up terrified, alone, cries. I dreamt I was being left alone. Yeah, you were alone from the very beginning. Like this one, I really like this line here. Um, I mean, I think for this one you could clean up the dialogue just a little bit. Because this is just heavy exposition, right? And I think the eye patch thing could have been done a little bit differently potentially. Because like on my first redo, I didn't quite understand that like I could live on by carving your image into this eye of mine. Um, I think that's a kind of a little bit of a clunky way to introduce this. I think that maybe there should have been placed more emphasis on this one, where like maybe we're blinded by the past, blinded by this one here. You close one of your eyes, so it's always forever this person, or you know, this eye patch. I think it's a really cool idea. Aaron's plant died because of a big war, and you as well. I don't think you need to specify that anybody died because of a war. This is just a simple one shot. You could just be like, everybody disappeared. And you could even make it a little bit more tragic. Like, you know, the whole astronaut thing literally does not come up in the story, right? It's here just because they probably thought it was cool to draw an astronaut. They want to be on a different planet. But you could have gotten rid of this war thing. I don't think it's necessary exposition. I think you could make it a little bit more mysterious just by going like, oh, everybody just left one day, disappeared. It was just us. And then you did as well. Like, and then I was sad to the point I could have become crazy. Like, I don't think this line in particular, and this is me really being a little nitpicky, I don't it's always like the show don't tell. I could tell she's sad. You don't need to tell me I was sad to the point I could have become crazy. I think you don't need to say that again either. You don't need to say, hey, she's crazy, she's hallucinating. You could just say, like, big sad, right? Or you don't need to say anything. You could be like, you could say like, I wanted you with me all the time. I gave you my eye because I never wanted you to out of my sight, but you disappeared anyway, right? Like you could really go and take this from like a big epic tragic war, and just be like, people disappeared. You know, one day I saw they were there, and then they weren't, and then you can kind of change that like, so I gotta make sure that you won't disappear. And you could even made it like the guy did, like, here, I'll never leave your side. And then he goes and he like carves this, like, he takes an eye patch and then he like draws himself on it very crudely. You could have some cute dialogue between them two, like, oh, like, no, but please wear this so I'll always be with you. And then, well, I guess that's long because I don't know if you really want that I'll always be with you there because he tells her to move on, right? Um, but then you disappeared. Why'd you leave me alone? I hate being alone. Thank you for remembering me at the end. But then you could have just been like, hey, thank you for remembering me, but I think I had to move on, and I think it's time you moved on too. Right? Something like that. Or you could keep the whole delusion plot with her, like, doing that and then the whole like that. I don't know. Those are very, like, nitpicky things. It feels like you didn't need the war part. You didn't need the astronaut part. You could have made this a much simpler romance with a lot more mystery to it. And I think that mystery would enhance it a little bit more. Now, obviously, this is just a bonus. You have a limited number of pages, but I don't think, unless this is integral to the story, maybe this is, I saw earlier, right, that it was part of Kuzo no Hankai. And is Kuzo no Hankai on here? I don't know what Hankai is. Hankai like, okay, in volume 4 of Kuzo no Hankai. I don't see it in Kuzo no Hankai. I don't even know what that is. Oh, they made oh no. They made Oshinoko? Oh, they did. I might need to check that out. Okay, I hear really good things about it. 9.24, that's a lot. Lots of cat people, though. Sure. She's married to someone from outside. I'm not going to stalk her Instagram. But yeah, I think there needs to be. It's okay to be mysterious and not explain everything, right? I think that sometimes you don't need to tell everybody anything about the war, and I think this is something a lot of movies get wrong sometimes, and just, I think it's cool if you want to add on lore in this, set of the other, but for a simple one shot, like, this is 15, 20 pages. I don't know if this became one of their main serializations at one point, or if this is Oshinoko, which I thought was like an idol show. But yeah, you could explain a little bit, like, this little mysterious part, leave it fantasy, like, you don't need the cat thing here. Whoa, the stars are so cute and juvenile. Like, you could even say that adds on to her, like, little delusions, right? I think, oh man, I'm being such an ass. Well, I'm not being an asshole. But I think it would be really nice, a nice touch, if you just kind of even had her stars. And this is where I have a little excessively detailed. This is my problem sometimes, where I need to pull back, and I've learned to do that a little more. Like, these are clearly shooting stars that are just, like, drawn by a kid. Now, obviously not. She was probably just had trouble drawing stars or whatever. But I think it'd be really cool is if, like, whenever she's with her man, you keep these very simple stars here. But then, as you go on, boom, they start to, like, do whatever. But then, right here, you have those little stars there. I think it'd be a really nice added touch. I don't know. I mean, most of this video is just me saying, these are minor things that could have done better. And like 5 minutes of the voice acting. That's not bad. I did enjoy this. I do believe this has a lot of potential. I do think it has great things. There's just a little bit of like roughness around it. The art is good. The paneling is simplistic, but not bad at all, right? I actually do like these kind of shots a lot, where it's just them, and this, added to the point is black paper, right? Half black, half white, even going to the real world there. Boom. It could have been cute if she like rubbed it off with her. With her tears, but it makes more sense that she just abandoned it. Yeah, this is good stuff. I enjoyed it. This mangaka obviously has a long, successful career because they are doing Oshinoko, which, is very, very popular. So awesome. With all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.